It takes a village to raise a child.
To have a child, you need two people. And there's no baby that cries in a bachelor's quarters.
Umuntu ngubuntu ngabantu.
Akate okarya wanyu, which simply means that whatever little you have, you share it with somebody.
My name is Comfort Adesua Yasero, originally from Nigeria, West Africa.
My name is Dr. Charles Kwestadade, and I'm originally from Ghana.
My name is Wazi Dlamini Kapenda, and I'm originally from Eswatini. Used to be called Swaziland at one point.
My name is Dr. Tafadzwa Lawrence Chidzambwa. I come from Zimbabwe.
My name is Margaret Chakunda Mubanda, born to Eseza and Samuel Rukoza, the son of Rutina Mpora and the grandson of Basheja. I was born in Western Uganda among Banyankore, a group that speaks Runyankore, which is my first language.
Makoso Mwanmamukai. That's my African name, and I started wearing it since last year. Makoso Mwanmamukai, and I'm from Central Africa in Congo, Brazzaville, which is a French colony.
Proverbs are phrases and sayings that give advice in an obscure way. They are used in allegorical and metaphorical sentences.
Capsules of folk and collective wisdom that our ancestors created and passed them on to generations down the line. Proverbs are nuggets of wisdom that are used to guide us as to how to navigate and live our lives in collective and positive ways. Usually, they tend to guide us to do the right thing.
I mean, the first thing, of course, that spring into mind, raised as a Christian, the Proverbs in the Bible. But we always had our own African proverbs, which had been passed on from generation to generation, in which really those were the teachings and the lessons as children we needed to know and to ground us as people so that we know who we are and where we come from.
Proverbs are coded messages. They are methods of using real-life examples that people are familiar with to pass on wisdom.
Statements or short saying that are intended to bring direction to the listener. In other words, proverbs are sayings that are wisdom, that are derived from lived experience and passed on from generation to generation.
A proverb is African wisdom. A proverb is African school. A proverb is our knowledge. A proverb is something that teaches us the path to take. A proverb is something that teaches us how to respect the elder, how to respect your mom, your dad, your neighbors, your villagers, everything, how to respect the nature. The proverb teaches us all that.
Proverb is the horse of words. And when words are difficult or they are not accessible according to them, it is proverbs you go to go and chase or to go and search for the meaning of those words. What they mean is that proverbs are very useful in analyzing difficult situations and issues.
It takes a village to raise a child. And another one is I am, because we are. This is from the Ubuntu philosophical teaching of our people that is about community, that we are all in together.
I mean, the first one that comes into my mind is always the one that says, Umuntu, Ngubuntu, Ngabantu, meaning that we are all called human beings because of other human beings. We wouldn't be human beings if there were no other human beings, meaning that we are people because there are people around us and people that support us, people that love us, and people that want the best for us.
Akache okariano wanyu, which simply means that whatever little you have, you share it with somebody. And the little could mean anything, word of counsel, food, shelter. So, in other words, never shy of sharing what you have. For one time, I had little milk, and it was during war, like now we're in COVID. My neighbor didn't have milk, and she appeared in my house, and I had just 4 spoonfuls of powdered milk. And she asked me, I looked at my tin, I'm like, I have nothing, and I don't know when we shall be out of these houses. But she came, and because I had grown knowing that whatever little you have, you share it. Akache okariano wanyu. So I gave her 2 spoons, I kept 2 spoons, and behold, after she had left, a friend of mine came with 10 kilos of powdered milk. So it's so important to share the little you have.
Yes, there's a proverb which states that to have a child, you need 2 people. And there's no baby that cries in a bachelor's quarters. This proverb actually means that to raise a child properly, you need both parents to contribute. That's how you can also build a community.
Only the fish in the water knows that the crocodile is sick.
The difference of how I'm treated here in Canada and in Africa.
In Africa, you are always at home. It doesn't matter where you are, you feel at home.
There are many, many differences, and there are also many, many similarities.
You have got some things that are common to most of you that are there, even if you don't speak the same language. You still feel brotherly or sisterly love. Here in Canada, you have to be a bit sensitive because there is a mixture of cultures that are here. And what my values might not exactly be the same values with the other person. So you have to be accommodating in some instances and be a bit more careful.
Canada has a set of people called the First Nations. Their behavior, the first time I came in contact with them, they were just like Africans. The way, whatever we do, they too do it. They have lots of proverbs. They have lots of stories as well.
Back in Ghana, my country of birth, I didn't really care about my skin color because we all are black, right? So my skin color didn't matter. However, when I ventured out of Ghana and then came to this country, many times I realized that my skin color was either a hindrance, all right, to certain things that I did, or sometimes a motivator, because I'm saying the motivator because sometimes I realize that I'm the minority, the only black person, and therefore I need to do things much better. I need to put in extra effort, and that improves me as a person. A hindrance in the sense that my potentials may be, inhibited because of my skin color. My potential of doing things may be inhibited because of the self-fulfilling prophecy that we all have been made to acquire, because we are told that, you are no good because of your skin color. And eventually, unconsciously, you internalize this type of thinking, and it reflects the way you do things. So indeed, there are positive things and also negative things, in my life here in Canada and also, back in Ghana, Africa.
I got my first job in a daycare with little kids. And when they knew my name, they would just say, Comfort, Comfort, I want to go out, Comfort. In Africa, a little child doesn't just mention your name. They say, Mommy. Every child calls you Mommy in the village. And every mommy is the mommy of every child in the village. So that was different to me, and I took time. It took me time to accept it.
The difference, really, I don't see the difference. It's like wherever I lived here, it was for me like back home. I lived in a small place for years called Gibson's, Sunshine Coast. And that was just like home to me. And the way I was treated is the same way I was treated back home. The only thing, like back home, I will go from place to place to visit my relatives without calling them. Here, I have to call. I'm coming. That's the difference. Calling before I come on. I'm hungry. I'm passing by. I want just to stop by. If I can have a glass of water. Do I have to call for a glass of water, or if I want to make a pee? You cannot go to the bush here to make a pee. In Africa, I can go to the bush. But here, what's going to do? That's the difference. So I have to call, to stop, to make a pee. And sometimes you go to the restaurant, though there's no public toilet here. That's the only difference I saw. But really, I lived like fish in water sometimes here. But when it comes to call, oh man, that's a difference.
In Canada, I am treated as a person not belonging. And the reason I say that, every day I'm asked, where are you from and when are you going back? Also, I'm looked at a minority, a black, a woman of color, and an immigrant with less to offer except to get low-paid jobs. So that makes me think I don't belong, although I'm in Canada. And I was surprised one day when I was given my landed paper, when I was told that on my paper they put in, I am a homemaker. And the officer knew that I had had my education in Canada and I had a degree, but to put a homemaker was a surprise to me. So that showed me in Canada I'm treated differently. Whereas when I'm in Africa, as soon as I arrive to Africa, they say, when did you come? When are you coming back? I'm like, you people, I'm here. No, we mean, when are you coming back? So in a way, in Africa, I'm treated with respect, I'm loved, I'm cared for, and I'm appreciated for what I have to offer, because everything we share in Africa, somebody's knowledge is important for me to share. So really, I see myself, the treatment is different. Although I have to be just, there are so many good things in Canada, but when it comes to personal treatment and what I have observed, I'm treated as I don't belong, or I'm a black person, or I am a second citizen.
Well, I think coming here, I'll have to tell you about my experience coming here. I come from a very small country, and I grew up in a very small village. And of course, I went to school in the city. In that, what I've realized is that city life is kind of similar. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It's the village life that is different. So growing up in a village where you greeted everyone you met, and made sure that everyone was okay. Not only just say, hello, how are you? Actually, you cared to hear what they had to say. You gave time to that person to actually tell you how you are. People here just throw it around, like, how are you? Like, really, they don't have time to listen about how you really are. And so for me, I remember first arriving in this country, and this thing of saying hello, to people. At first, I'll just say hello when I saw someone passing me by, and people will just look at you and don't say hello back. So I had to teach myself as time moved on, I still say hello. That, you know what, maybe choose the person that you say hello to. If someone, is meeting you with a smile, maybe they just want a greeting, or they will say hello first. So now I've learned to choose who to say hello to and ignore other people that I don't have to.
The use of proverbs first is to entertain us and then to teach us. To teach us, that's why we use proverbs. The use of proverbs is to show that we know the language, we know the culture, we know our values, we know the traditions. That's the use of proverbs. You cannot speak in Africa without a proverb. You cannot write a book without proverb. You cannot. You cannot be a writer, a storyteller without a proverb. The proverb leads you to write or to tell.
Proverbs are channels or media of socialization, especially of young ones. So we usually listen to our parents and grandparents telling us proverbs so as for us to, acquire the proper way of doing things, to stay the straight and narrow line, as it were.
Proverbs are used to teach complicated things or things that are a bit strong in a way that people can understand. They simplify the message in a way that people can actually understand what is being said, because you use examples that are familiar to them.
Proverbs are used for instruction, teaching, educating. Mostly in Africa before colonization, they now call it informal education. But we had system of learning outside the classrooms. In garden, while grazing cattle, proverbs were shared. When you said something that didn't make sense, they brought in a proverb to give you understanding of what you're doing. So really, they were used as medium of passing information or knowledge to everybody, and people in the village shared it together.
I think for me is to really connect us to the past. I think for me that's the first thing, because we all come from somewhere, and these proverbs have been passed on from generation to generation. My grandmother taught me about some of these. My father taught me about some of these. And so for me, as a parent to African children, I have tried my best raising them in a different culture to ensure that they know who they are and they remember who they are. Because for me, I came here as an adult to Canada, so I knew exactly who I was when coming here. So nobody can ever tell me who I am, because I know exactly who I am. But for our children raised in this culture where there's a clash of different cultures and etc., you need to really be vigilant as a parent in teaching your children about who they are and the way of life for us as Africans, and how we relate to each other and how we care for each other and support each other.